Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Woo! We are back for another episode of Bullish and Beyond.
Let's go.
Brian the MacMan and JT Knows Things. Right now, I am hyper bullish on the AI trade. Nvidia just careered it on their earnings. The stock had a huge pop this morning. It's coming down a little bit with the rest of the market. And, JT is going to dive into what is going on in the market because it has been nuts. And he is the chartist of the group here. JT, what's happening?
The expert chartist. There's a lot going on, man. So the macro, I think first let's talk about sentiment. The sentiment is at, you would think that it's at an all-time low. Like Bitcoin's fear is lower than it's been. Dude, it's at 12 in the bear market. When it was at 15,000, it was at 16. So like this is ultimate fear and Bitcoin's holding up.
So buy.
I'm just saying at a 12 fear, you should expect much lower prices. I actually am kind of happy how Bitcoin's performing.
How does that Bitcoin fear correlate with the VIX, the fear index of the equities market?
They're inversely correlated. So VIX goes up as fear goes down, right? Because with fear, there's a lot more sellers entering the market, right? Not as many buyers. So you're going to have massive price volatility. I think we should, 88 is better than 60. 60, I could see a 60K Bitcoin. That's a reasonable price. If you go look at, I'm talking about Bitcoin right now. And this
I better hold some money on the sidelines to buy some more coins then.
Yeah, because every bear market is correlated to the cost to produce a Bitcoin. You have electricity, you have the financing of your equipment, you got all this stuff, right?
Electricity is not cheap.
Right, it's not. That number.
I want to talk about that later in this podcast.
We for sure will. That number right now is $98,000, and every bear market you'll see the discount to about 35%. So I could easily see a $60,000 Bitcoin right now, or lower.
Well, Michael Saylor is still buying. He bought some more this week.
He's actually buying the dip. Good for him. He doesn't do that often.
He's a prop up his own. MicroStrategy is tanking.
Yeah.
I was bullish on strategy and not liking it at the moment. Long term, still bullish. Maybe a good time to buy some more.
100%. That's kind of what we're seeing. There's these big buyers, right? Tom Lee's still buying ETH, and on the institutional side, in your world, you got people still looking at Nvidia, still picking it up.
But I bought some Nvidia yesterday and sold it this morning at a nice little
clip. You were that confident they beat earnings?
Oh, I was about to buy some options. My brother talked me out of it because we couldn't decide which way it was going to go. But I was to the bullish upside, and I texted all my friends that we were going to hit a big win on Nvidia last night. And I was right. I thought it was going to get to about 200. It didn't quite get there. It got to about 196, and it was at 190 before we started recording today. But still up a couple percent. And the reason is Blackwell sales are through the roof.
That makes
Jensen
sense.
says he cannot keep anything in stock. The demand has far outstripped it, and the entire cloud is sold out.
I believe that. I saw that report on LinkedIn this morning. It was kind of crazy.
And they only beat it by a few billion, but also the numbers were so high expectations to begin with. And they still beat it by a few percent. And then he guided higher. So that was another big thing. We needed to see that increase in guidance. And this last quarter, it was the first time we had a re-acceleration of growth. So there was, I believe it was the last 4 quarters, there was a slight deceleration. And by deceleration, we were still talking 50%, year-over-year growth. So insane. But now it's accelerating again. And he increased the acceleration lever one more time as he's looking for next quarter to be in the low $60 billion range. And he also increased their expectations on gross profit from their current at 74. He says they're going to go to 76%. gross profit. These GPUs are so
Crazy.
profitable, and the pricing power Nvidia has is absolutely nuts. And people are coming for them. All these companies say they can make it better. I have friends call me every day. What do you think about these, TPUs and all these other things that can do it cheaper? That's great. They can keep doing that. Google can use TPUs to train their Gemini 3 model. That's probably awesome for them. They can sell some more of those. But Nvidia has this scale, and they still own the market. And I believe the moat is strong.
Yeah, it's also, we hit on this a lot. Like the processes his Blackwells are doing right now, a competitor can do for a lot cheaper 3 years from now off stuff they're making. He is at the edge. He will remain at the edge. He will remain. That moat is specific to the highest tier of compute possible. People are years behind him on that slice of it. And right now, that's the only slice that matters. Over time, you're going to have the tasks get easier to interpret, easier to infer, easier to push, lower latency. We're going to get there. But right now, this is the only race that matters because it's the best on the market. And once it's developed out another 5 years, you're going to start seeing all of these second and third tier operators come in and still fulfill the compute need, but with cheaper, easier
they
to
can
make
all do
hardware.
well.
Yeah.
One thing I was reading too is people think that they're not depreciating. This is going back to like Michael Burry, for example. He's saying there's these accounting issues. They're not depreciating the GPUs fast enough. And the Nvidia CEO actually hit on that yesterday, not referencing him specifically, but just talking about the lifetime use of the GPUs. And he says they're still using ones that are 6 years old, these like A100s. And the reason is the CUDA software is updated constantly. And through their annual updates, they can go back and make better use of those old GPUs and use them for things that are specific to what those GPUs would be good at this point. So the fact that he can extend the lifeline that much, that they're still operational, I mean, obviously, if you're running cutting edge stuff, you want the latest gear, but there's so many use cases where you don't need the latest gear. You don't need the answer within 3 seconds. You can, wait 10 seconds for the answer.
Right.
So it's amazing he's extending the life of those, which makes his product that much more valuable, which makes his whole ecosystem so much more sensible for a company that wants that long-term product and is going to be investing, year over year and wants to make sure their investment doesn't go away.
It also just makes the profitability go up, right? The longer those machines run, the less money going to replacement costs.
Yeah.
Lowering your OPEX, right? Lowering your CapEx and increasing your profit. So,
I mean, if you're buying them in bulk and you depreciate over 5 years, all of a sudden, 5 years down the road, you own these things at a $0 cost and they're still making you money. Cha-ching.
Right. You get another 2-3 years out of them and then you replenish, maybe that's exactly why his gross profits will go up 2%.
Killing it.
It's a beautiful business model. I think
all the partners too are crushing after the earnings, specifically when we talk about in the podcast called CoreWeave. They're one of the biggest neo cloud providers, and there is so much use for stuff like that. I mean, these big companies like Meta, Google, these companies out there like that, they need to have an option that's a turnkey provider that has it all set up. They can go just buy that capacity and train their models right away. And people are still going to need that.
100%. I think it's hard to imagine a reality where you don't have the names we talk about on this podcast doing well in the future. It's really easy and it feels good to go log on them because I just listened to Mike Novogratz on a podcast talk about Galaxy and what they're doing with their data center business and how they work with CoreWeave. Galaxy,
okay. I don't know anything about Galaxy.
I wouldn't sleep on them. So they basically started
traded?
off. Yeah. That's actually part of why they're in my world because they launched a tokenized stock. That's their actual stock. It's on Solana, right?
Interesting.
Super interesting. First in the world. Right?
Do we need to buy some more Solana? Man, it is down. I got smoked on my Solana.
Yeah, I would load up on that. Not financial advice, but yeah, that's one I'm eyeballing for sure. Yeah, I love these prices. I genuinely do.
Well, more things are going to get tokenized. I mean, that's we have people like Larry Fink saying the whole freaking world is going to get tokenized, and he's more connected than anyone in that space. So I feel like he probably knows.
Yeah, tokenize everything is literally the I I would call it the underline, the exclamation point, the all bold of my fund. I invest 70% of my client's capital in that world, which is what happens when the internet has 100% of global equity on chain and debt and commodities. Like, what happens, you know? And the way that looks, there's currently 430.
What year do you think that's going to be?
Optimistically, 2035, 2040. Like, it's going to, these systems, listen, $100 billion plus companies are still running AS400, COBOL, right? The 70-year-old tech, because they don't want to switch. Like, it's going to take a very long time for these mountains to rotate, right? I mean, it literally takes tectonic plates shifting
by 2035,
2040,
we're going to be living like the Jetsons, flying around in these, Joby, hovercrafts, and we'll probably have a flying Apple car by then. I mean, we'll probably have a flying Tesla car.
Yeah, all of that will be monitored on chain at that point in time. I mean, it just doesn't make sense any other way. Just for data security purposes. I mean, the more data on chain, the more we interact online. Like, we just need more security. More of our life is in that digital world, right? So, and that's not going anywhere. But the way that reality looks is there's $430 trillion of total global market cap. That's the entire market cap of the world. Of that, I would say 60 to 70% are going to be on private blockchains. So companies that have their own instance of Ethereum with their own servers, and they have their own internal operations, because they're not going to want all of their juice, all of their IP on a public blockchain. But at any point they interact with retail or their customer base or their marketing programs, anything that's external, that will most likely be on public blockchains. So of 430 something trillion, let's say 70% ends up on private. That means there's 110 trillion left with the current market cap at 4 trillion.
That's
so we're talking
up, obviously.
Yeah, like we've went from nothing to 4 trillion in 16 years. I could easily see in the next 10 years getting to 20, 30. Yeah, like very quickly. And we're seeing where the lines are being drawn.
Good round growth from there.
40 trillion, like let's say I'm off by half. 40 trillion from 4, that is insane growth. And if you're holding on to just a few of those integral protocols that would make that reality true, which is where my entire life has been focused.
Solana, Avalanche, Morphe, Chainlink, Morpho.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Chainlink.
I watched some of your videos. So
yeah, good.
Between Morpho and Avalanche, I know it's kind of that B2B on the Morpho and that kind of retail play on the Avalanche.
You're talking about Aave.
Oh, Aave. Sorry. Yes. Aave.
Aave. Yeah.
Yeah. I that was super interesting, the way that we're doing those loans now, direct to consumer. And, I'd be very interested next time I was going to go buy a property to be able to, lend off chain like that. I mean, that is just amazing that you get these like instantaneous approvals. I mean, you were saying the video, it's like seconds. You're like,
yeah,
ching.
Yeah, like if we were just to take your portfolio and replace your Apple with ETH, okay?
Yeah.
And you were to put your ETH into Aave, you could get 70% at 10% in a couple minutes, start to finish.
So cool.
Like 70% LTV at a 10% interest rate annualized. Maybe 11.
To do it with my banker would take me 5 to 10 hours of my personal time and a month-long wait.
Right. Yeah. And then the cool thing is it's just there. And like the other person, like the Aave protocol, they're going to cover the interest payments if you don't make them. If you make them, you can still see it. It's right there. It doesn't move. It's yours.
Yeah.
Right? Just make the payments. And then if everything's good, the smart contract closes, the gentleman with the stable coin makes money or the pool makes money. The protocol splits the difference with the token holders. Like no one is needed. It's awesome. It's incredible. Yeah.
So there's 0 employees, like you said. Like there's no one. It is completely decentralized.
It's all software. There's a DAO.
So cool.
So there's this legal structure, that Wyoming has recognized and other states are recognizing, but it's a DAO. It's called a Decentralized Autonomous Organization. The The way it works is you have a vote that is directly proportional to the amount of shares you have divided by outstanding. So if I have 4% of the supply versus 0.4%, I have 10 times the vote.
Got it.
And everyone has a bag to be in the DAO. You got to buy a certain number of tokens. So you have enough net worth at stake to where you're not going to want to hurt the protocol.
No, yeah, you always want to help it. Makes sense.
And anyone can
really
get
cool.
into it. You just got to buy the supply and then you'll be heard in the Discord. So this entire thing is being ran by a community of strangers in a Discord. Think about that. And it's like in the top 40 largest banks in the world. In that video, I showed you the Federal Reserve list, right? It has 60 billion AUM. That is above Discover. And like all these other things where you drive by.
It's not a household name yet, though. Like if I asked 20 people, I mean, maybe only one or two even knows about it. Like,
right. That is called alpha, MacMan.
I like it.
That is called alpha. If it's silent in the top 40, think of all the room it has to grow.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It seems like it could go crazy. I just think about how generationally it's going to change so much over the next 10, 20 years, because everyone who's young is going to be comfortable with that and growing up with that versus, our parents are not going to ever go get a loan, with their ETH. So, right.
Well, just imagine the world where everything is tokenized. And let's say of that 110 trillion, let's say 30 of it ends up on Ethereum. Right. And that's like equity in your home. It could be, I don't know, everything of equity.
So in the future, my Apple could be tokenized and I could pledge my Apple towards this as well. I just can't do it today.
As long as it's on an ERC20 standard, which you can easily do. Galaxy already did it. You can easily do it. If your shares were on chain on Ethereum and they were in a wallet instead of your brokerage, you could do it already with your Apple stock. Absolutely. And Aave could be the engine for that. So like in the future, when I'm envisioning maybe Ethereum does pick up 20 to 30 trillion, I think it will be the settlement layer for most things.
Okay.
Ethereum
is down big right now.
I'm eyeing that one
down
too.
Down to 2,800?
Sure. That's a steal. That is a steal, in my opinion.
I bought some more 3,500. Not looking too rosy today.
That's crypto. That's
Dude,
why you gotta
moves.
Yeah,
everything in the AI market has come down a ton. Honestly, it feels like a buy the dip type opportunity. The story hasn't changed. Like we said, everyone's still buying these chips. Nvidia proved it with their earnings yesterday. I love everyone that's partnering with Nvidia, like CoreWeave and stuff like that. They're killing it. Speaking of that, I was looking at this hedge fund called Situational Awareness, and it's being run by this guy, Leopold, who's a 23-year-old freaking genius. He's an ex-OpenAIer. He came off their super intelligence team, and he went to start his own fund just over a year ago, and he raised $1 billion with this 140-page white paper he wrote about the future of AI, and he kind of sees out 2 to 5 years into the future. And so far, every single thing he's talked about has come correct, and he hasn't made a losing trade.
That's crazy.
Unreal. He's grown 1 billion to 4.5 billion in 1 year, and he's currently ranked as the #1 hedge fund trader in the world.
That's crazy.
Ripping it. So the point of that was the bets he made were exactly along the lines of stuff we're talking about right now. He made over 350% on his CoreWeave position, and he went over 4x on IREN, and he also 4 or 5x on Core Scientific. So he's really into these neo clouds, and he put more money in recently. I was looking at the quarterly report. I can't remember the name of the quarterly report they spit off. But yeah, no, he bought another $1 billion of CoreWeave. So it makes me feel pretty good about my position, but also like maybe I should be picking up some more because it is down a ton. It's down in the 70s.
Opportunity, baby.
It is. It is that kind of buy the dip, and you look back next year and it could be double or triple where it is right now.
That's right. That's right.
Intense.
That's actually insane. Good for that guy. That's crazy.
No, he's killing it. People, I'm gonna make sure we put in the notes a link to his white paper. It is absolutely unreal. I have not read the entire thing. I had ChatGPT give me an unreal synopsis of it, and I've read a couple sections, but it's honestly pretty long and very detailed. This guy is just wicked smart. I think he graduated his like MBA from Columbia at like 18 or something like that. I mean, he's just beyond gifted, clearly. But yeah, I mean, he's making all the right calls, and he's literally 100% in AI. It doesn't have anything else in the portfolio.
I love it, dude. I love it. His foot is cemented to the gas pedal.
Yes.
I love that. I love
careering it.
Yeah.
Careering it. Yeah, you got to stick to this market. Like, I mean, I'm not selling anything at a loss. I think they're going to come back, roaring, regardless if it takes, 1 week or 5 months. Like, I'm good. Yeah. I think this is a bullish market we're headed into.
Yeah, like that's why we stay long. That when you manage a fund, you do have stop losses to consider. I wrestle with those, but on the personal side, like 100%, I just don't see a future where this stuff isn't mainstream. I don't see a reality where we're not on chain in 10 years. Like, I just don't. You have the leader of the shadow cabal saying we're going to tokenize everything, and the idea that they could monitor everything on a public blockchain way easier than they can do it right now. They're going to love that. What gets measured gets managed. They love managing us. It's going to happen, and I just want to make money off it. I don't like where we're going because I don't know what they're going to do with this technology. It frankly kind of scares me.
You know what we're going to need to do that? More power, JT. One of the purchases I just made the other day is Constellation Energy. Ticker is CEG. They're the number one clean energy provider in the United States right now. They have over 10% market share for the power coming to our homes and businesses. And they're kind of the go-to for a lot of these very large data centers. And I thought a lot about Oklo, and they're not online yet. So we're a year or two away from Oklo actually making any revenue. This is the best company kind of live in the space right now, and they are powering a ton of data centers. And they're killing it. Like, they're up like 160% like year to date or something. Like, it's not like this company's going nuts. It has the recognition for it. But the PE is not crazy, and it's like, man, they're going to get so much more money from the increase in energy, not just from the demand, but also I think on the gross margin side, they're going to have to raise prices, and people are going to have to pay for it because they're going to want capacity.
100%. At the end of the day, it all boils down to energy. It all does. And even when you're talking about going to space, we talk about it, right? Like, how much does it cost to take every weight, and like how much half of that expense is the fuel, which is energy. Yep. Like, literally everything comes down to energy. And
there's going to be a lot more in space. Bezos says he's sending all the data centers to space in the near future.
That's smart. I had that idea years ago. Like, you can have an infinite heat sink into the minus 200 degrees
I know.
Fahrenheit
I cannot
space.
even imagine. Yeah, instantaneous cooling.
Yeah. And then you also have 24/7 solar exposure. Yeah. That sounds perfect. Like, that's actually
I believe last time I looked at the solar, without doing anything differently, is automatically about 4x as powerful, just leaving the ozone itself before you're doing any type of tricks. I mean, they're testing all sorts of things that just go up in rockets and expand to collect solar, and then these huge arrays open up. And as we get bigger ships, I mean, the Starship is just becoming a thing now for SpaceX. I mean, I can't even imagine in the future we're going to have SpaceX launching all those. Bezos's Blue Origin company. Who else is going to come online? After them, and man, there's going to be huge arrays and data centers going out there.
Virgin Galactic, right? You also got Richard Branson in that race.
Branson sold almost all his stock though. So I am a very small holder of Virgin Galactic still. The stock is down 99.8%.
He doesn't hit every time. He doesn't. And
this is his biggest miss. And when he pulled his money out, dude, the stock cratered. This is a few years ago. It's funny. I was up about 500% on it, and then it just nosedived, and I'm still holding the bag. Probably time I sell it and take the loss. It's my worst position in my entire life, I think, at the moment.
That's crazy. I actually, that does make sense with him though, because honestly, like, he is really good at entering an established market and then siphoning market share.
This is so early.
Yeah, he's too early for his gifts. That's what I think. Yeah. Too early for his gifts. He's much better at letting everyone else figure it out, and then he just delivers top-tier service because he takes care of his people. That's like literally, if you interact with a Virgin employee versus any other employee, you're going to have a different experience. The same thing with Costco, right? Going into Costco and Sam's Club feels different because they actually prioritize their employees.
They pay them differently. That's one of the biggest things is, you're not paid like a standard grocery employee at Costco. I mean, I've talked to some of the managers there. I mean, you get paid extremely well for that type of a job. I mean, double what you probably make somewhere else.
Aldi's and Costco, the average pay.
Costco stock doing pretty good too.
It is. Dude, 24 is their base. 32 is like a 1 year. Like they
moves up fast.
Like you could be making 60, 70,000 a year working at Costco and have a decent life. If you have two people making that, you're definitely in the middle class just working at Costco.
And you don't need high school education, and you don't need a master's to go start working at a Costco.
Yeah, you could be by 30 making six figures as an 18-year-old. That just
speaking of education, I want everyone to know, and I'm putting the vibes out there. I am learning to be a day trader, and it's something that I've never done before. It's so different than my long-term thematic investing when I just buy Apple or Tesla and wait 10 years and look, it's going to be amazing. And so I've been buying a bunch of books recently, and just starting this journey, but I'm excited to do it. And, I want to be able to talk more about how I do some day trades and stuff on here. So like I bought Nvidia before the earnings, yesterday and sold it. It was up over 10 points on the trade this morning. So just trying to do more of those. And sharing where I think we might have some opportunity. But unfortunately, the podcast comes out at, we usually record on Thursday, so everyone knows. A lot of times it comes out on Saturday morning. So it's a little bit of a delay to tell someone how to do or speak specifically, to a day trade. But just being able to talk about it on here and be able to increase my knowledge on something I'm very excited about.
Yeah, and it's something that I don't know a ton about. I've never really messed with that stuff, so I'm excited to learn about it. I feel like shorter term price movements are a lot harder to gauge. Like, it's really hard to hit a target that's 1 minute away versus 1 year away.
Yeah. We have to find an edge. I mean, do you know something differently about the stock than the market's saying? Or is there a certain pattern you see on a specific stock? After you watch these stocks so often, like I can literally tell you what's going to happen on an Apple event day, 80% of the time. And the deal with day trading is it's probabilities. So if I traded that Apple event, every single time, I don't have to hit it right every time. If I hit 75, 80%, I'm going to kill it. So just making sure I do take those constant swings is something that I'm realizing I need to do. And if I feel like I have the edge and I've checked off all my boxes, what my diligence on the trade, I need to make it, not hold back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like it. That the trader we had on, we should probably have him back. It's been a while. Animal. He's great. He runs his portfolio like 10% is active, right? And then 20% is like
a lot of swings, pretty short term, I think, too, like day or 2 day or something.
Yeah, the 20% were his swings, and then he was 70% long, and he was only in 4 names. It was like Tesla and a few others.
Go Tesla, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Another reason I like Tesla, I am researching more about their Gen 3 bot coming out. Even Elon thinks the number one thing they're doing in the future is building robots. And, he's talking that he needs to build whole new chip fabs to, have enough chips to put inside these robots in the future. That's how bullish he is on it. And usually he's behind on time frame. So let's give him a little bit of grace. If this robot doesn't come out Q1 of next year, that's probably why. But supposedly they're basically gearing up for production in mass of this robot right now. And the difference compared to some other robots out there is it has 21 motors in each hand, and it has joint ligaments. It uses the arm muscles just like us humans to operate itself. So it's not that robotic looking when it's using its hands. And he said out of the box, it's going to be able to cook for us and do things that these other robots like the Neo, supposedly they're talking about being able to do. They could be able to train it how to do it. He says it's just going to be able to do it. And it's going to have the awareness, not only, know how to cook, but it'll be able to put new things in front of it, and it'll instantaneously use its knowledge. And AI, it's going to be, using the crazy data centers that Tesla has, spun up for it, and then having that knowledge. So it'll learn, on the job how to do something, and then it'll immediately blast back to all the other robots. So you think you're these, hundreds of thousands and millions of robots here in the future. Those robots will get instantaneous knowledge download from the other robots. So the scale, is just, it's mind blowing.
It is. That's insane, dude. I love that. Do you think he makes $1 trillion? Do you think he hits that after hearing that? You're more bullish than ever he hits those targets? Because they're crazy.
If he hits half of them, they are going to be murdering it. That would be so impressive. The targets are gargantuan.
They're huge.
Elon, it's kind of like when you bring something into existence, by thinking about it and manifesting it. I think that Elon is able to do that, probably better than anyone else. Almost like a Steve Jobs. He kind of sees the future, and it's far out. Like, maybe he hasn't hit those goals right away. Maybe he's delayed on some of them. And, but they're all aligned to a point that he could hit them. And it's really just going to take a little bit of time.
It is going to take a little bit of time. But, man, if I was betting anyone, I'd bet it on Elon. That guy.
He's incentivized correctly. If everyone was incentivized the way he is, maybe other people would work harder. He'll sleep on the factory floor. He doesn't care. Like,
$1 trillion?
He's
$1
lost,
trillion?
He's had 5 divorces already. Like, he's not. He gives up his family life and has other problems. And it's amazing that he's able to focus that hard on work. He does have Asperger's and stuff like that. So his brain, it works differently than some of ours. But he throws caution to the wind. He throws family to the wind. And he goes all in on his businesses. So if Tesla's his number one priority, crazy things are going to happen.
I'm going to have a beyond moment. I know I'm not even remotely even close to where Elon Musk is at, but to me, that seems depressing. Like, I don't think we're here on this earth for that kind of lifestyle. As an investor, that's what I want to see in a CEO, right?
Right, it's conflicting. Like, that's amazing he does it, but I want to live my life with my family and not have to give up my kids for work.
Yeah. Because at the end of this road, he's going to be dying on a bed somewhere. And I hope
not.
Oh, you think perma-life? Are we on that? Or we're on that? Because I believe in possibly perma-life.
I think we're going to get there through robotics. If anyone can download his brain into a robot, it's going to be Elon. He already has the Neuralink thing. And in the next 20 years, that is going to be a reality, that it'll be able to siphon your knowledge and your intellect. And at some point, at a quantum level, it'll be able to have all your thoughts and feelings. That supposedly is about 100 years out. And it's basically relying on compute to go like 1 trillion times where we're at right now, because that's the type of compute it takes to get to that level inside of our brain.
Cold fusion and quantum computing. We figure those two things out, that'll happen.
Yeah.
That might
Elon's
be the
young enough.
iteration of the
he can live another 50 years, naturally, to get to a point where we are at a quantum compute level where that stuff is going to be possible.
I just had a light bulb moment. I did. I talk about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3.
Yeah.
What if Web 4, so I'm talking 30 years from now or something, another 30 years of iteration, is everything that Web 3 is, everything's on chain, but now we upgrade to a quantum net, and now our thoughts are on chain. So now we can think to one another. We can transact, we can read, we can write, we can own, and now we can think. I don't
think we need to wait to Web 4. I think with Neuralink now, you can almost get there. So I think it's more of a choice.
Oh, no, you'd have to. Because the quantum field is instantaneous. in the current internet, no matter what happens with Neuralink, you're still battling latency, which is, at best 250 milliseconds. And that's bound by physics, the amount of time it takes light to refract in a plated wired tube, where quantum is not that. It's not that at all. So the minute you have a thought, it would arrive in your brain. Like we could actually have constructed telepathy, like, and that could be the entire world.
But even if the latency was talking milliseconds between you and I to share a thought, like, well, I can wait, an eighth of a second to hear your thought.
Well, our brain moves a lot faster. How fast does it take for you to hear your thought? That's a weird one.
I don't even know, but I know what you're saying. It's insanely fast.
It's instant, brother. It's the quantum field. Like literally, if I change a photon right here in front of me, imagine I had a little bead and that was a photon. If I moved it here, literally billions of light years away, that identical photon would also move.
Yeah,
instantly.
It's crazy.
Instantly. So when you get on that frequency and you're sending information, it's instant, and space and time is not relevant at all. I could have a thought right now and send it to my buddy in China, and he would get it as soon as he gets his own thoughts.
That's gonna be a crazy future. That's Web 4, you think?
Possibly. I mean, if we have if we have enough energy, we have cold fusion, so we can have nuclear reactions.
At some point, we're going to have limitless energy, and that is one of the biggest differences that's going to change this world. It's not even exponential or even logarithmic. It's something above that in terms of how fast it's going to change humanity. When you have unlimited energy, you could basically do anything.
Yeah, hopefully I've made all my oil money by then. But yeah, yeah. That's the future.
Not going to be but the one thing though, it's going to be so hard to scale up those fusion reactors and stuff. So it's not going to happen overnight. But once you know it can happen, man, that is going to be such a shift. Can you imagine if you got Jensen Hung in a room and you gave him unlimited energy, if he was able to think about how you could apply that to his chipsets? I mean, it's unbelievable. Then you have the space component come in. If you have unlimited energy and you're in space, you have unlimited cooling. I mean, you are off the charts in terms of what is possible.
Yeah. Or if we could figure out wireless transmission of energy.
So at that point, are we living in a utopia or a dystopia?
Well, if we as humans can sustain each other until that point, we don't all kill each other with war. Yeah, that would be huge. That's probably the biggest risk that we're all facing. And we're doing full circle back to the macro. I mean, on the bear side, you have the most geopolitical instability we've had since the 1930s. Like we're talking World War III. It is scary, but it's true. I mean, there's these proxy wars.
We don't want to deny the facts.
You don't. They're everywhere now. I started sending you the videos on China and Taiwan. You're more educated on that. You have that. You also have Israel and Iran. You have America. And,
that's why we're spinning up chip fabs in the U.S. and Arizona and stuff now with TSM. Just in case.
Just in case. And then you got Pakistan and India. They had a ceasefire, but those are the highest tensions they've been in almost a decade. You got the Ukraine and Russia war. You also have the same thing going on over in Thailand, in Indonesia, right?
Kills me how much money we're wasting on these wars. If we put this money into good use, what we could do for humanity, like it's just mind blowing.
It's terrible. It's sad, and we have 5,000 Marines in Venezuela today. Wow. We have ground troops,
and there's huge aircraft carriers, aren't there? Like just waiting or they're just moving into position or something. I'm not following
from China and Russia. Venezuela is probably the largest oil supplier for BRICS. BRICS is the opposition of the Western side. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America, and then another 18 countries. And since half those countries are sanctioned by the U.S., meaning they can't use dollars to buy oil, which they can only use dollars to buy oil thanks to OPEC until it was almost ago. But now they go to Venezuela to get their oil. And if I had to guess, that is how China is also getting fentanyl into the drug system that gets to America. That's why the border was such a big deal. because BRICS, Venezuela is the oil reserve for BRICS. And we're right there right now in the center of their operations trying to stop the fentanyl trade coming upstream. And it's creating a lot of
blowing up those boats.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, China has been funding and killing us through fentanyl for probably 20 years. They've been doing it.
Well, Trump lifted the fentanyl, tariff percentage. So apparently he agreed with China's president that they're doing something in the right direction.
I mean, that right there is acknowledgement that they've been killing us. And just think how now we're desensitized to the fact that a foreign country is poisoning our civilians. It's just a tweet. That's where we're at. That's the level of instability
people
we're
are
at.
still using it, though. Like, it's not like, people have to make conscious decisions to take the drugs or kill themselves with them. It's very unfortunate. And I know you could get something laced. I'm not, there's obviously errors or whatever. You think you're doing a drug that's not hardcore and you get that. But at the same time, we need to make friends with China. So I wonder how much of that, is really going on or not. One cool thing I saw about China, a little bit different talk track, is that Apple has increased their iPhone 17 sales in China at a very meaningful amount. It's up like 34% compared to what it was last year. So they are blowing up China iPhone sales, which is a great sign. And Apple is crushing.
Maybe China agreed to stop stealing our IP. Maybe.
No, Huawei will continue to steal IP. Huawei just came out with this touchscreen foldable tablet notebook thing. It looks exactly like what you would think the future of an Apple foldable tablet's going to look like. I mean, it's so funny.
Well, they have identical Apple stores in China. You don't know if it's Apple or China Apple. You don't know. I mean,
people want to dig into that topic because it's so interesting. The book Apple in China that came out this last May, incredible book. And we touched on it at one point during the podcast. But yeah, they spun up before Apple had, now they have a bunch more stores. But initially, when they only had like 2 stores and like the big one in Beijing, and there was one other one somewhere else at the time. I mean, the fake stores proliferated because people wanted Apple so bad, and there wasn't any store around. So yeah, you make this mock-up fake one, make it look 98% the same. People flock in. They don't know.
That's right. It's crazy. They do it with everything.
Well, however they're selling them, I like that they're selling 30-some% more. Yeah.
Maybe that dynamic changed. Maybe that's why it happened. 30-some% increase. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Those fake stores have been there for a while, so that's not driving the sales. But the Chinese consumer is definitely buying the iPhones, even though the government is still steering away from buying the iPhones for their organizations.
It's crazy. This is a lot of stuff going on in tech. I think we maintain our research, we maintain our thesis, we stay long. These are great buying opportunities. I think next week we're going to have a lot more information. I think at the end of the month, at the end of the holidays, you're in Thanksgiving, people are either going to buy or sell. I think at the end of the month, if Bitcoin closes above 94,
are we going to get the Santa run at the end of the year?
Let's hope. That would be huge. But
I predict markets are going to move up 10% by the end of the year and make a big move to the upside.
Okay.
I am Mr. Bullish. I will still wear that hat. And I like being optimistic, so I am sticking with my bullish thesis.
I'll match you. I still believe in a strong fourth quarter. We're almost through it though. It's hard to maintain that, but the setup is decent. So I'll put Bitcoin above 100 by the end of the year. I don't think we're going to have a crazy run till 26.
Okay.
But I think we're going to reclaim that massive 100K support.
Let's do it.
I really think so.
I love it.
Let's see.
All right.
And if I'm off, it'll be great.
People should drop in the comments. Where do they think the market and Bitcoin will be at the end of the year? That'd be a really cool topic to see what everyone else thinks.
It really would. Let's
do it. We could put a little poll on LinkedIn, maybe.
I like that. That would be good. I'd love to know what the market thinks. Give us a sentiment.
I haven't done a poll on LinkedIn in a while. I don't post quite as much as I used to. I built my following, years ago, 211,000 now. And yesterday I got recognized as a top 100 men on LinkedIn. That was pretty cool.
It's huge. It is huge. Lewis Howes, I always mess that name up. Mark Cuban. Those guys are huge. And you're right up there. Your little
Gary V. I mean, man, there's some heavy hitters on there.
Yeah, it was a seriously impressive list.
There's multiple Shark Tank guys. Matt Higgins, Damon John. I mean, whew. No, that was a fun list to be on. I haven't tried a poll in a while, so we're going to do a poll about where we think the market and Bitcoin will be at the end of the year. I think those are separate polls. Actually, you only get to pick, 5 options, so we can't have everything under the sun. Actually,
we could say S&P 7,000 or Bitcoin 150. Which happens first?
Ooh, there you go.
I don't know. That could work.
I mean,
I watched the hot seat
right now. We got the S&P at 65.89. I would suspect I'm gonna go S&P.
Okay, I think that's an interesting question, though.
By the way, the markets all went red during this podcast. Crazy how fast the market can turn.
Yeah, it's volatile. VIX is up.
Even Nvidia is down after their massive day. Wow.
Sell the news. People already priced it in.
Bye. Time to make some more picks. I like it.
There you go.
More picks and shovels in the AI industry. That's what I like right now.
It's a safe long bet. I say we wrap this one up and hit up the audience next week. This has been a good one. Lots going on.
A lot of people to think about. My biggest takeaway from watching some tech stuff yesterday is I love Nvidia and Tesla, and I will keep buying more of those names.
Got it.
The dips
I
are
love that
treats.
the thesis is not changing. We're long term, guys. This is what it sounds like. It's exactly the same.
I mean, looking at the year 2030, they are going to be killing it.
It's going to be insane.
Oh, yeah. Very exciting time. All right. Awesome. I hope everyone really enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you thought. Give us your guesses on the S&P and where you think Bitcoin's going to be end of year. And we'll put some polls out there and report back.
Awesome.
All right. Have a great week, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.